Welcome back to Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists. Oh my gosh, what's that sound? What are all these people doing? Oh no, it's a flash mob. That's right. Today we sit down and talk to former flash mob artists.
Once a craze of the early 2010s, people jumping out in public to perform surprise dances has since gone away, but this troupe is reuniting today.
You've seen them in malls, you've seen them in airports, you've seen them in malls, but now you're going to see them together, reminiscing on some of their favorite dances, some of their favorite flashes, and some of their favorite mobs.
So gather round. Uh-oh, what's that? And listen up.
3 years! 3 years!
Cause it's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey baby,
I think I'm
gonna marry you.
Yes, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh,
Yes.
where's oh yeah, 1 and 2 and 3 and up and down and up and over up and smile and hands. That is remember
Yes.
that?
Yes, I remember.
Yes.
How is everyone? How are you guys?
Oh my gosh. Hi.
Oh.
Hello, everyone.
I freaking miss you bitches. I miss you bitches so freaking much.
I
Yes.
miss you
My
bitches so
bitches.
much. I think about this time all the time.
Ah!
Over, up, and 2 hands. 1 hand, right pump, left pump. Think I'm gonna marry you.
Yes.
Oh.
Remember when we did that for Ramon and Diego's proposal?
Oh my god.
What a magical performance that was. And what
it's
a
such a magical thing because they were in the group and we were able to give what we do for other couples back to them.
The only fundamental problem that I thought is that they expected it. It
No.
was really hard to trick them that the
No.
flash mob was coming.
They look, so that was what was so crazy about it is we had to do so much work so they wouldn't expect it. Remember the prosthetics?
Yeah.
Remember
Mhm.
all
Prosthetics,
of that?
the fake
fights.
car accident, the
Yeah.
fights.
People don't know. A flash mob within the flash mob community is just, I mean, it's the cream of the crop.
It's Inception. Yeah, we paired with that group that does drunk driving assemblies as well.
Yes.
So they thought it was
Yeah.
a really horrible accident. And then, yeah.
And then surprise, it's a
It's
a
us.
proposal.
It's
Nobody's
a proposal.
actually dead here. Nobody's drunk. We're just dancing.
It was
a
awesome.
blast.
The flash mob community is, it's pretty inside baseball, and they're pretty hypercritical of their own. You know, they'll if they smell a burnt lead off, a burnt tip off,
Yeah.
they're done. They're out. They're
Yeah.
they're no longer in.
We have so much to talk about because
We
even
do.
just that, maybe like I was at a Wells Fargo yesterday and the music was a little bit louder than the last song.
Can I
And
just say,
prepped. I
number
prepped.
one,
I went, where are they?
number one place that triggers me, Wells Fargo's. Number 2, grocery stores. And then number 3, water parks. Because those are the songs we used to use for flash mobs.
And number 4, malls with a fountain.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh. If I ever see a quad, if I'm ever
quad.
walking through a quad, it's
Oh my
like
God.
game on for me. It's like I get the tingling. I'm like, where is everybody? Where
Keep me
my
away
part's
from the
coming in.
quad. Yeah, absolutely.
Do
Wait, guys,
not let me. I haven't been to a quad since.
guys, we're getting into our old ways, us crazy mofos. I miss you so much. Guys!
I do. It has been so long. I'm losing my mind thinking about how fun this fucking time was.
Guys, we have to introduce ourselves because we
Let's
know who we
do
are.
it.
But
And we have to I think it'll be fun for people. Like, let's talk about who we were and who we are now. Like, let's just
Yes.
do a little, that'll
yes,
be so
and
fun.
maybe give a little resume of the types of fake people you used to play when you were in the mall.
Oh, that's good. Like you're typecasting for
little
the flash
res.
mobs.
Give me a res.
Okay, well, I'm Chandra D, and I was
Look
a
at me, it's
flash mob
Chandra
performer.
D.
She loves Grease. She loves Grease.
And I love Grease. I am obsessed with Grease. That was kind of my big reveal most of the time. I would go from balloon animal pushcart operator or like ice cream truck pusher. Like I was like a vendor. I chose cart vendor as my like alias. And then as soon as those beats started, I ripped off my jumpsuit of whatever it was, and I was full Sandy from Grease in underneath, and I busted out moves, and I got addicted to dance ever since my cousin's bar mitzvah. Yeah, I was in.
Wow, we're getting deep fast, huh? This is sad for you.
Just jump right into it.
I know. Well, I do get sad thinking about it because that was the happiest I've ever been.
Yeah.
On that dance floor, I was like 14, and my cousin, was just dancing, and all of our family members and all of our cousins were just doing the Cupid Shuffle, and it was, I think, the happiest I've ever been. And
wait, hold on,
actually
really quick,
thinking about that.
She's crying, but go ahead. What did you want to interrupt her with?
No. I'd love to. I would love for you to go ahead because
I'm
it's too
so
much for
sorry.
me.
I did not know you were even crying. I'm so sorry.
No, because it's happy though. It's happy.
Yeah. I just wanted to say I didn't realize. Are we all only children?
Wait.
Wait. Yes.
Wait. What?
Hold on a minute. Well, but wait. I want to clarify. Only children, but we have cousins we consider siblings.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, really?
What? Wait.
No way.
What?
Wait, no way.
How many cousins do you guys consider siblings?
17.
Yes. Yeah, my whole
12.
dad's extended family.
Yeah, it's just like I had siblings like a normal person would have siblings. I had 17 of them.
Yes.
So I'm just normal like you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like anyone with siblings. I'm super close. I see my siblings 4 times a year, and I can check out from the relationship anytime I want.
100%.
Exactly.
And I'm so sorry I interrupted you, Chandra D. I just realized I was like,
It's
wait.
okay. I've already forgotten about it.
I was like every okay, great. I was like every flash mob artist I've ever met in my life is an only child, but has so many cousins. And you said you were at that dance with cousins.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. And it spurred this dare I say sort of like dancing feat.
You can say it. Yeah, you can say it. We can say it. Like we're in a flash mob. We can say it.
We can say it.
If anyone can, it's us.
If anyone can,
anyone can. I think there's nothing kind of wrong with that.
Dancing feet. But anyway, those feet kept me dancing, and I. It wasn't until flash mobs became popular that I felt like I really was able to actualize that like meter, that like pumping heart that I felt ever since that day. And then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, YouTube, and we can do this anywhere.
There's a market. There's a market. It kind of like came around in 2010, and it was huge. It was absolutely huge, that market. Like that's what was so exciting about it.
It's incredible.
Me, you know.
Well, tell us who you are, though.
Okay, my name is Deacon Brown. I am a big.
Deacon.
I was huge flash mobber. I was kind of the characters that would be. You guys can probably tell by the way I look. I played a lot of the professors or businessmen running late.
Oh, yeah.
Because I kind of have an energy all the time of, what am I doing in this quad? You know?
Yeah.
So it's a
well,
big...
and you had a whole life as a professor.
Well, yes, thank you. So I am a deacon and a professor, Professor Deacon Brown.
Yeah.
I use 2 things. I work at the Episcopal Church near my house, and I also teach at a 2-year university. It's a fantastic university. I teach arts, administration, and becoming one with yourself. It's a fun class I just started this semester.
And I want to give a shout out to, did you say becoming one with yourself?
Yes, becoming one with yourself. It's a fun little class I'm teaching this semester.
I'm dying to know the curriculum.
You guys have to sign up. It's $12.
I want to take your class. I want to take your class.
To sign up.
$12?
Okay.
It's $12 to sign up for my 2-year
Where does
university.
that even go? Where does the $12 go? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I'm just a Professor Deacon. Okay.
So
I have to say,
nonprofit.
I mean, the way that you use ministry in life, I mean, some of my favorite kind of deacons and the way you kind of
Some of your
emphasize
favorite
that.
deacons, yeah.
Some of my favorite deacons,
Wait, name your 5 favorite deacons. Go.
Go
okay,
quick.
well, Deacon Brown, you.
Stop. You are so
Okay.
bad. Thank you.
Deacon Taylor, who lives over on Central Avenue.
I know him. He's fantastic.
Deacon Williamson, who is a New Orleans deacon, kind of a funky guy.
It's fun.
Dinkin.
Dinkin. Dinkin's a drunk.
He's a drunk and he's really funny.
But he gets on that pulpit and he goes.
Yeah. And
Sometimes priests who are drunk are better.
And Deacon William Aspercream of Boston, who we don't need to talk about. But what I wanted to say, Deacon, is I love the way that you embody like this spirituality. And I have friends that went to the spirituality club that you used to run at that community college. And it's so fun because I know you really commit to these people, but they're only there for 2 years. So you have to like really impress this religiousness.
I've got to really push it on them, and I take any chance I can because we have open arms at the Episcopal Church. We are welcoming anyone, anytime, and we're just so happy that if you're interested, come on down. And, you know, I'm not allowed to really proselytize from my classroom because I'm a professor and I get fired, but I just try to give them a warm energy, and if they're interested and open, they'll come to me. And my favorite time is some of your friends come up to me and they go, "You do the dance mobs.
Yes.
You do the dancing mobs."
Yes, because as you guys know, my friends came to all the flash mobs. They weren't in the flash mob. You guys wouldn't let them in, but they came to all of them.
They would
20,
love
30,
to watch
40
them.
of them.
Almost gave it away every time.
Yes, I had to be like, be chill, be chill, be chill. This isn't a theater performance.
Well, you
That's
go.
the thing.
Come on, introduce
People don't know.
yourself.
People don't know you can't have fans as a flash mob because
Right,
it ruins
yes.
us. It ruins
Right.
us.
Well, I'll introduce
in a
myself.
way,
Go ahead.
The only way that they could be is if they are, in a way, part of the performance. Because
Exactly.
if they're pretending that the performance is not about to happen, just like we are, they're effectively in the group. And that's kind of what we kept trying to tell you. But
Yes. Well, and you wouldn't let
that's
them in,
for
right?
another day.
It was a little bit of a standoff because I said, these guys are going to spoil this unless you let them in. And I said, that's extortion. That's what you guys would say to me. You guys, they're getting
That's
in the
the
way.
it felt like
definition.
a hostage situation.
It's
Yeah, a
the
little bit.
definition. It's the definition of it.
But I will introduce myself. Hi, everybody. My name is Bunton Crisworthy Guilfoyle Munt, and I am so happy to see you guys here today. And it is so fun to talk to everybody. I got involved. I was the youngest member of the flash mob. I answered a Craigslist ad for a part-time job. My parents said, you can't grow up to be a musical theater guy. It's not going to happen. You need to get some sort of job to learn some skills. And I said, well, I'll turn that back on you, Mummy and Daddy. And I'm going to go ahead and get a part-time job as being in a flash mob. And so that's how I got involved. I was the only one in my high school working at the flash mob. I was the youngest guy in the flash mob. So I was playing a lot of the student. I was playing a lot of the young guy.
You played it so well.
Yeah,
and
I
played it so well.
You know, we
you
kind of,
and your hacky sack were
Yes.
inseparable.
Thank you. And I also, you know, it's funny because, you know, I was a little younger. I was 17 at the time when we were part of it, but I was 17. But I could pass as 8. So I was playing a lot of little boys. I was playing a lot of big lollipop children, you know, as kind of the technical term.
You were it's what we say, a flash mob 8. Where
It was a flash mob 8. Yeah. Where you don't realize you should be looking for me, but if you were to look at me, you would say something's a little off about that 8-year-old boy. But I was really
clearly
good.
looks 17.
Well, to
Also,
play,
you know,
And
to
it
play,
depends on the city, too.
Yeah.
Because there are New York 8s, but those are more like Chicago 7-year-olds.
Right.
100%.
Right.
And I
Oh
think,
my
like,
gosh,
what
a New
you
York
do
8 is
so
such
well,
a Chicago 7. It's
Oh my
so
God,
easy to
so
see.
true. It's
Bunton,
so easy to
what
see.
you do so well,
Bunton,
what you do so well is like a flash mob child needs to be convincing by itself, like in the mall, walking by itself, but it can't look alarming like that's a kid by himself. It has to look like a kid,
Yes.
but you can't be like, why is that kid alone? It has to be like really convincingly almost an adult, so you just kind of understand that the kid's alone because it's kind of an adult.
Because we needed a kid, but we didn't have the cast to give me a mummy or a ditty. So it was really difficult. Very frequently, it had to look like it's okay that this little kid's alone because we don't want the mark the person that's going to be surprised by the flash mob, to worry so much that they're going to call the police, who are also flash mob at that point.
Yeah.
So
There's such a risk of being shot when you're doing a flash mob.
Oh my gosh,
you
let's
have
talk
no
about
idea.
it. It's a huge problem because it's
Because-
alarming. What we're doing is unnatural
Yes.
and also ungodly in many ways. So it's alarming and it's scary, and you have to make sure that it's the right environment. But it was so fun. I was the eye of everyone's envy in high school because everyone wanted to be involved, and I tried to get them involved, and you wouldn't let them. And that's okay. And I look back, and I actually burned all my friendships with them. So I'm glad that they're not here because
Didn't work out.
well, they all ended up being toxic.
Yeah,
Like, it
every
was
single
crazy.
one of them.
Everyone in high school was toxic. I look back and I'm like, every single one of them was toxic.
And that's so sad to hear because I hear all your girlfriends were toxic too.
Yeah. All my girlfriends are toxic. I finally found a non-toxic wife and I'm so happy with her.
It's hard to find not toxic people when you are attracted to just like a toxic people.
Well, I'm attracted to passion, and passion is toxic. So that's what's kind of hard.
Yeah. That is so relatable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hi, guys. Sorry. That's so relatable.
Yeah. Thank you for taking that again. Go ahead.
I'm Bree Josephine Wilder, and I am just, I miss you guys so much. I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful to be here. I have, since I was working at the Self Tanner bar in Tampa, I am general manager. I basically run the whole place, which is huge. That's an update for you
Congrats.
guys. Yeah.
That's
What's the news
awesome.
to
Thank you
me?
so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm basically like the head honcho at the Self Tanner place, and I really am so thankful for that. And on my resume as the in our little mob, I usually played the bitches. Sometimes the girls that would like spill a drink on the person, or I mean, there was a while where I was always like, when we did like a couple like engagement ones where I was like trying to be like the hot girl at the beginning that was like, or like the boss or somebody that was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, kind of
I
like
would
the person
yeah.
going like, I don't like this.
The
And
And then
villain.
I
that
would
was
start
such-
dancing.
Yes. Yes.
Because I think like what was really good about me is I have like quite the grumpiness that comes out every once in a while. And I use that, right? Because like to be such a grumpy authority figure and be like either a cop or a boss or like a mother and go like, what's going on here? And use my grump and then start to dance has always been like a huge part of it.
Oh my God! Use your grump. That was that bumper sticker that you were trying to get sold, and
Use your grump.
the badge and the
Yeah.
t-shirts and the
Yeah.
mugs. Do
Yeah.
you still sell those?
Well, I made them, no, I made them at a Color Me Mine. So I was like, this isn't
Oh, they were
sustainable.
made of clay.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what was so tough because I tried to put
The
one on my
mugs.
because it kept falling off.
Oh, yeah.
Because it
Sorry,
was
the clay
clay.
bumper sticker. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was
Clay
talking
bumper
about the
sticker.
mugs. I was talking about the mugs, but I
Oh.
also do.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this. The bumper stickers were made of clay as well because
Yeah.
And this is the first time hearing of it.
you have some supply chain issues, and I said that in 2010, and I stand by it. You have supply chain
Oh
issues.
my God, Sandra, don't do that. Don't
guess-
make me grumpy.
I heard you. I heard.
Don't
Wait.
make me grumpy. Don't
This
make
is-
me grumpy.
This is the first time you're hearing this. I heard you got blacklisted by CarMax. I heard that. If someone tried to sell a car back, but they found out that you put a bumper sticker on their car, they wouldn't buy the car.
Well, I can't help if your car can't hold a heavy bumper sticker.
Well, this is what I loved about you, Brie. It was so interesting because you really used grump. Grump was kind of your label, but you weren't ever actually grumpy as a person. You kind of had a great face for grumpy, kind of like you would scrump it up.
Well,
and
that's
you'd
what
go,
it is. Yeah, I just naturally. What?
Yeah, you naturally do that.
Hey,
You
what's
kind
going
of
on over
laid-
here?
You laid the groundwork for Grumpy Cat to be as successful as he was. You know, Grumpy Cat's owner came to one of our flash mobs in the early days. They were a genuine
Accidentally.
passerby.
Accidentally.
Thank you
Accidentally.
for saying that,
Accidentally.
Sandra.
It was at
Yeah, when we say you
our
come to
flash mob at a
flash
vet
mobs,
clinic.
It comes to you. It comes to you.
It was at a
Yeah.
vet clinic. I did want to ask how that lawsuit's going.
It's pretty impossible to prove that I was doing this before that cat did. But we won't give up. We won't give up. It's been really hard, and it's humiliating every time I see that cat make that face. In court I go, I did that face first.
Is the cat coming to court?
Yes. Because they bring the cat to court because they say this is the face naturally. Right? And then when they put me on the stand and I smile because it's Brie. It's me, Brie. Like I'm just like being normal. And then like they say like there's clearly you didn't invent this.
Yeah.
And then it makes me grump.
Oh,
Then
look
it
at
makes
there
me
she
really
goes.
There
grump.
she is.
There she
is.
is.
Oh, you
Grump.
better win that lawsuit because
You
that
better
is dead
win that
on.
lawsuit. You,
If you
you
guys have
big
any
old grump.
if you guys have any tips on how I could prove that I made that face up before the cat did, it would help, but it's pretty impossible.
Do you have
It's tough
videos?
'cause-
Oh, have you shown videos of our flash mobs?
Yes, but that for some reason
What's up?
they're not admissible into court because of copyright laws with Bruno
Oh.
Mars songs.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I
Oh,
heard
yes.
Bruno Mars sued the U.S. that they can't use songs in court anymore as evidence.
Because they can't play more than 7 seconds of it,
Yeah.
and it takes a few seconds for
Because-
you to like get into the grump character.
Oh, right.
The court will then get demonetized on YouTube.
Oh,
and courts are
right.
making all their money on YouTube.
That's how they make
these
money
days.
now. Yeah, it's crazy.
I've
That's how they
always
make money
wondered
now.
how courts make money.
But you know what? Honestly though,
And now we know. And
now
now
we
we
know.
Now
know.
we know.
But can
And
I
now we
say,
know.
I really wish. I remember there was a while where our troupe was doing non-copyright songs, and I miss that. I really do.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we were all kind of pitching in and writing some songs. I had a couple originals in there. It
yeah.
was so fun.
Yeah,
it just didn't
you're-
work as well because people didn't know what the heck was going
Yes,
on.
because people
Right.
thought it was like original music, like a band.
Well, that's what.
And
so
if they think it's something original, then they think they're supposed to like watch, as opposed to like let it happen to them.
So
Yes.
this is something that we used to learn from our guru, God rest her soul, the woman who started this, the woman who was in charge of it, Everly Entmount. She was
Everly.
we loved her. She was our queen. She
We call her Moo Bear. Moo Bear.
yeah,
Moo.
we called her Moo Bear,
Moo Bear.
and
Now she works for Wayfair. R.I.P.
Yeah.
yeah, our rest in peace. She gave up working for Wayfair, and
R.I.P..
we consider her dead because Wayfair is not where dreams happen. So we just kind of
Yeah.
No, it's
consider
where
her dead.
furniture happens. And she's
Exactly.
made that very clear to us.
She's
And
made that very clear.
I think furniture is the opposite of dreams. Like, yeah, she stopped. She literally stopped this because she was like, I have to make money somehow, and so
I'll tell
she
you
went to work for Wayfair.
And she
tell you-
didn't want it enough.
Yeah.
The-
No.
the hard thing about a flash mob is who do you pay? You pay the. Do you pay everybody that was there?
And who pays for it?
And who pays for it? Where does
So-
the money come from? Who's paying who?
Because
And how do
ultimately-
they have money?
I hate that those malls would be like, this is really putting a lot of work on our sound guys, because they'd have to hire a sound guy to set up a whole sound like.
And a lot of the times,
System.
the last thing a mall wants is a flash mob. They
Yeah.
don't. They are.
don't.
And we say, could you give us some money for that performance? They go, absolutely not. You're on private property. You need to leave.
The
Because
red
then they say-
tape.
Yes. Oh, the red tape. Because then they say, we'll hire you if you could bring people into the mall, so we will need to use it as promo. We don't promote.
And
We
you can't know it's
surprise.
happening.
Obviously, we
You
can't
can't
do that.
know
We
it's
can't.
happening.
I can't remember because they had me on admin work for like a while when I was put on administrative leave from the flash mob.
Yes.
And so I was doing a lot of the scheduling.
Yeah.
And it was like
When when your neighbor had a
explaining-
baby and you took leave.
yeah, I had to take leave because I felt like it was my child, like my daughter almost. You know,
heard
It's
it
like,
so much, you said, yeah.
I heard it so much. She was practically my daughter. I'm like, I have to take administrative leave or else I'm gonna go crazy.
No, mothers are born in the ears. Anyway, keep going.
Exactly. And it's like explaining to a baby when they're like, can you bring an audience? And it's like, obviously not. Do you
Right.
want a flash mob or do you not? And so we ended up having designated gigs. Like there were different types of gigs we would take. Some were us pay and some were we pay.
Yeah.
As in,
Yeah.
sometimes we had to pay to do the gig in order to get the permit from the city to do it.
Not
was
to
a
be
bigger
confused with
gig.
us pay. So
But
us pay
means
was
us
you
get
you
paid.
pay
Us get paid, and then
Us
we
get
pay
paid.
means
Us pay is
we
us
pay
pay.
you.
We
us. It was just a
we are
shorthand.
paid.
Us pay or we pay.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets you get in the weeds, and you're like, we need a shorthand.
Those
But to be
emails were
honest,
great
shorthand.
because it would say, like huge funeral flash mob, us pay, or huge
Yeah.
mall
Yeah.
flash mob, we pay.
Exactly.
And
You
they
guys
finally
remember?
stopped saying huge. They finally stopped saying
Yeah.
huge. It's
Well,
like,
yeah,
And
'cause
then
all
it
they
became
were-
flash
oh,
mob. That's how
huge.
we knew it was over. When did you guys know it was over?
When they were advertising the gigs to us, that definitely felt like it was
Yeah,
like, oh, they're
yeah.
because
I
they
think it
know
was
that it's
over-
going to be harder for us.
yeah, I think it was over for me when like I felt like administrative admin was like putting pressure on me to like post on my Facebook wall and be like, hey, I might be at the Vans Off the Wall store today. Come.
Right.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Like-
And then there was this weird agreement that we made with the Twinstone Mall in Pittsburgh, which was they advertised that there might be a dance sometime in the next year. And it was this really weird thing where then like people were kind of showing up and they weren't expecting it, but they weren't not expecting it. You know what I mean? So it became this thing where you go to the mall, and I remember I was just there to pick up a sweater from Zoomies, a hoodie that zipped all the way up through the hood.
Because you can order those to go.
Yeah, you could order hoodies to go back then. I mean, it's so different. And so now I was walking around the mall and you walk in and everyone looks like a deer. Like everyone's like looking at each other and it felt so conspiratorial. It ruined the vibes of the mall. Mrs. Fields shut down because no one was hungry for a cookie. It was
Especially
a
during the
disaster.
holidays.
Oh,
During the
yeah.
holidays, it's a hostile environment.
Absolutely.
gosh.
Well,
Yeah, well,
so
there were
for-
times you didn't know who to trust, but yeah,
No,
like,
I think
who
two
around
things-
you was in a flash
yeah.
mob. It was too much.
Yes.
It was, and two things really like cemented. Like one, Hamilton coming out, game over. Because
Oh my gosh.
is just one giant flash mob. It feels like
That
Like,
was
constantly for me.
D-Day for flash mobs. Like you can, you can talk about it.
You can actually trace the end of it right to the premiere of Hamilton.
Hamilton.
And in a way,
Yeah.
we can talk about how Broadway took influence from us. We
yeah,
can talk
absolute.
about that.
And
Well,
I've wanted to talk about this. I actually am trying to get a class going because I'm a professor. If you forget, I'm trying to get
Of
a class
course.
going, kind of studying how flash mobs influence live theater.
I actually have to say, I wanted to talk to you guys about joining my class action lawsuit, suing all of Broadway to say that they stole intellectual property from flash mobs. I'm
Interesting.
going to do it with it was my lawyer's idea who thought it was a good idea to sue Grumpy Cat.
Well, here's where I think I'd love to talk about that at a later date.
Okay, we'll just pin it.
Yeah,
let's
thank you
just
so
pin
much,
that for
Bree.
now.
Let's
Let's just
pin that,
pin it.
and
Your
I'm
one
a,
person class action lawsuit.
I'm a
let's
hard
just pick it, 'cause
I'm
I
a
wanna
hard
talk about
maybe.
your lawyer.
What I will say is, so if the death of the flash mob was Hamilton, I would say the peak of the flash mob was, of course, and say it with me, the movie Enchanted. The how do you
Yes.
know? Yeah, and how does he know you love her? Whatever the name of that fucking song is. I wasn't listening to it. I
How
was
do you
watching
know?
it. How do you know? How did you know that you love her?
Yeah.
So that was directly taking the flash mob lifestyle and showing it to the mainstream in a way that we'd never seen before.
Well, and
Yeah.
but also I will say, because this kind of leads me to my second point, because it does, it 100% does. But what it did was it gave the groundwork. It gave the groundwork for regular people to do a flash mob without us, and that
then
was the
soon-
problem.
Yes, when they started doing their own, and when brides and grooms and their bridal parties.
When
and
I
their,
see
and
a
their
grandma
groomsmen-
genuinely start dancing to "It's a Beautiful Night" by I would think I want to marry you, I ripped up every single assignment that was in front of me, and I had to give all the student B's because I didn't know what to do because I had just ripped them all up.
They don't know. There's so many dangers to doing a flash mob amateur. Like you need professionals for this. And we were trying to
need
tell
professional
people
help.
because now we see what happens and you look outside and you see on TikTok and all these people are doing these dances, but for what, for who? And there's no fanfare. There's no joy. They're so humdrum. I feel like I walk down the street and I just see people doing flash mobs and it's like, there was no enjoyment like there used to be because it's too commodified.
Well, for me, it's become flash mobs have turned into mean YouTube pranks, and I just
Yeah.
cannot get
And
behind
that's just
that.
not who we are.
It's just not who
It's
we
not.
are. It's
No,
just
it's not a culture of optimism. And I feel like I felt the death knell when we started that program where we would try and find couples who felt like they were secure enough to get engaged soon and
Right.
try and persuade them to have a flash mob proposal.
Well, that was big,
And-
right? That was connected to that MTV show we were trying to sell with that producer that from Next, and he
From
was
Next.
like, he was
Yeah.
like,
That
let's
guy was
do it.
rough. That guy was rough.
He was
He was
physically rough. He was
He was
rugged,
really rough.
sharp.
He was
Yeah.
Every time he
calloused.
hugged me, I'd bleed. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes, but I remember the nail on the coffin for me was I think when we did that deal with the guy who plays Bad Grandpa. He's badass.
Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny
Jackass,
Knoxville.
not
Jackass.
badass. He's a jackass. He's not badass.
You're so right. Thank you.
And that's when
Yeah.
we started to be folded into the prank tent, and the tent became too big because that's not who we are.
No, we're not prank. We're
And
not
suddenly,
prank.
I'm trying to find the door out of the tent, and
Yeah.
I can't get out of the tent.
I
Yeah.
didn't like that badass guy. I didn't like him.
Jackass.
I did
He's
not
an-
like him one bit.
A wonder ass or something like that.
Joni,
He's not-
Joni,
he's not
Tennessee. I don't
Johnny
remember.
Knoxville.
Yeah.
Yeah, rough butt Timmy, Idaho.
he
I
had
didn't
a-
like that.
I
man.
didn't. I met up with him and he said, "Oh yeah, we're doing a flash mob," and then he made me just drink a bunch of bad milk.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand why, and I didn't like it.
Classic
Guys-
big ass.
Guys, it's important we know his name because he is evil and people need to be warned of him. So know his name so mistakes don't happen again.
Okay, let's talk
Okay.
about what's really important. How are your guys' bodies? Dancers are dancers, and I think like they say like that. I just like want to check in with everyone's knees. How like as we get older, like I know
Yeah.
I went to a wedding recently, and I mean Uptown Funk came on, and I started doing one of our routines just to
yeah.
like just to do it and feel alive, and I was like, wow, I am not the woman girl I used to be, right?
Yeah. You know, after
my elbows don't have that
Yeah.
quick like yeah.
after we stopped flash mobbing, I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to my body and I'm going to let my body do whatever it needs. And what my body needed and loved was nerds ropes. And I love those things.
And that's what you needed.
Yeah, it's been really nice. I've just been eating so many nerds ropes. You can catch me on the street, just one hanging out of my mouth like a freaking worm out of the seal's nose. I love nerds ropes. Those things are so fun and they make me feel good.
Would you say that's like your main hobby since all this ended? Or
I would say number
like,
one thing I've been up to is eating nerds ropes and just kind of hanging out, watching TV, eating nerds ropes, and just kind of goofing off to the max with
Bunton,
my wife.
that's crazy. That's interesting, Bunton, because when you were younger and we used to work together, you were a big fun dip guy.
I was a big fun dip, and I said, "You guys can have some if you want." And you would say, "No, that's really gross."
disgusting.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
don't.
share
I
it.
don't.
Yeah, I
You've been
wasn't a
licking that.
fan.
You've been licking the spoon,
Licking
the candy
stick,
spoon.
The stick, yeah.
I would say, "Here, you can borrow my stick. There's still some stick left, and there's still some powder left." And
It's
you guys
not
would
like
never.
chopsticks. It's not, Bunton. It's not.
Yeah, no, I gave up that. That was a phase, and it was an interesting. I'm not ashamed of my fun dip phase, but it's definitely not something I'd go back to.
Yeah. I personally, I've kind of hung up my dancing shoes for the most part. I do a Zumba class here and there, but honestly, anytime like Dynamite by Tayo Cruz comes on, it just like
Yeah.
I get that feeling where I want to do it again, but I know like I'm powered by a mob dancing with me, and on my own, it just feels sort of like what's going on. But I've put so much time and energy into my business that I barely even have time to think about it. I'm doing I'm sure you guys have seen me post about this. A lollipop vending machine. I'm trying to get lollipop
I've seen
vending
that.
machines
Yeah.
in airports and malls. And,
Can I give you a little note? I think they're too small. I think they're too
They're
small.
just so small. Those lollipops that you're selling are so small too.
I'm sorry.
Because
Wait, I don't understand.
the videos you post, the claw can't even hold it. The vending machine claw can't even hold the stick. It looks like it's trying to like grab onto
Well-
something thicker.
Right. It's about being precise, and you kind of have to get really good at it. So
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I'm
But
trying to build like a
$3
loyal.
a claw. $3 a claw. You
That
don't
was
even
a
call it a
claw.
lollipop because legally you can't. I just
can't,
don't
yeah.
know if that's.
And is
the
it a
way to
vending
go.
machine or a claw machine?
Well,
If you're putting it next to these vending machines and,
Well, you're
I could just
vending-
grab a bag of chips or I have to pay $3 to potentially get a lollipop, it's just not lucrative, I think.
Well,
And
you're
you don't-
vending to buy a claw. You're vending to buy the claw that gets the lollipop.
Yeah.
And these are artisanal lollipops. They're like fresh sourced from like a lollipop maker.
But
So
Sandra,
that is not what fresh source means. That's not freshly sourced. Is it? Freshly sourced means it's made
Sorry.
fresh.
I'm
It's
sorry,
not that
I
you
don't
bought
understand.
it from a. You bought it fresh from a lollipop maker.
freshly
I'm
sourced
so
means it's fresh.
confused. I'm so confused with what you're trying to tell me. I don't think you're making any sense.
Sandra, I also want to say you have to call them suckers. As someone who like understands legal stuff a lot, if you call it a lollipop, those people are going to come after you in a big
Big
lawsuit.
lolly, big
Big
lolly.
lolly.
Lawsuit. Big
Wait,
lolly.
why would they come after her?
Because she's taking the word.
No,
And
I think
that's their property. That's what Grumpy
you
Cat's
got-
doing to
you
me.
you have to get rid of your lawyer. You do have to get rid of your lawyer.
I think you have been
No.
traumatized from the legal system, and I
No.
think because lollipop is the generic term, I would
You
say,
have to
I
call
think
it
I'm
a
actually
sucker.
safe on
If
that.
you don't call it a sucker, they're going to come after you.
So sucker is also not a brand. Sucker is like an older slang term for a lollipop.
Okay.
I just know this because I've been researching this a ton.
Just call
because
me
I've
when-
gone into this business, but
Call me when your subpoena comes in and I'll tell my lawyer.
Okay, guys,
Okay,
I've got a
okay.
good question.
wait, Deacon, I want to know what you're up to now that you hung up the shoes.
Oh, I've just been taking a couple little silver sneakers classes here and there to get the old hips going again.
Silver sneakers.
Yep, trying to get my daughter into a good high school. It's really fun. My
Oh.
daughter. and
she can
Beth-
go to public. Can't
No,
go to
I
public
would
school.
never ever send my daughter to public.
Oh, I think public
Oh.
schools are just fine.
Oh,
Well, no, not for me.
Okay.
okay.
You work at a community
So
college.
Anyway,
You work at a 2-year college that has $12 classes.
public school.
Okay. Be careful. Don't do too much Grumpy Cat stuff. He'll come after you.
It's not
I don't
how
think
it
so.
works. You sued them. You sued them. So, guys, let's talk about it. Best and also worst flash mob we ever did.
I want to talk about this. I want to hear all the memories. I want to hear them all.
Okay, we'll just rapid fire. The best one was definitely when we did I'm Sorry, Miss Jackson, in the middle of the Glenfield Aquatic Center. We got to
Hey,
get in that pool.
Yes.
That was
Outcast-
so funny.
We owe so much to Outcast. I
Yes.
mean, they so much of our work was just
Yeah, it
Outkast.
was. We were supposed to do either Roses or Hey Ya, but I don't know who decided it. We started to do I'm Sorry, Miss Jackson, which is such a quick, fast song, a difficult rap tempo. It was a blast.
Well, it was
I
it was Janina, and she was on the she was the janitor for the episode, for the dance.
For
I call
the
them
episode,
episodes.
as we called.
I
Yes,
call them
we used to call-
episodes.
Yeah.
Janina was in charge of the radio because it's very frequently a janitor walks out and has a radio and then
Yes.
touches the radio, and Janina hit the wrong fucking button on the radio. So we were doing Sorry Miss Jackson, but we found out that the dance to Hey Ya fit to Sorry Miss Jackson.
perfectly.
Such a happy
It was one
accident.
of those like perfect synergy moments.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times you do have to improvise in these things. You do have to like on the fly, maybe adjust to the circumstances. Like
Yeah.
I remember we started a proposal to B.O.B.'s Airplanes. Can we pretend that airplanes?
Yeah,
And then the proposal went south. So we sort of like had
Yeah,
to
those
change
happen.
the choreography.
we started
to
flying
make it-
away. Like
Yeah.
she
we're
says
like,
no, we go,
uh-oh.
oh.
Because
Yeah.
it's like it's not just about the couple; it's also about the people like around who are now in the performance as well. So we have to make
100%.
that entertaining for them.
And-
so it's
Yeah,
like
and
we have
that
to give
happened
it
during
comedy.
that happened during the B.O.B. section. Take me back to the day before it was a job, before I got
Bro got
paid.
paid.
Yeah.
Before
So
it
we
was
ended up
some
using the
airplane.
chorus really well because we kept on going, he could really use a wish right now. You're
Right.
saying no. He could really, really use a wish
Yeah.
right now.
And he was there
And she had to
crying.
stay there. Yeah,
Yeah.
they stayed.
Yeah, they stayed, and
That
she
was
was
a tough
listening,
one.
and he was crying, and we were kind of, and then we did try to move her away. I thought, you know what? Fuck this girl, and I started trying to move her
Whoa.
away. I did think that because
You never curse. That's
I know,
insane.
I know,
You
and I
didn't
thought
say
that.
this at the time. You
I didn't say
this
fuck.
at the
No,
time.
well,
I
you
didn't
can't.
Know this.
You know that we get penalties if we speak. I did. I don't know if you guys did. I
You know,
got.
it's a non-speaking art form. You can't do that.
Yeah, but I was like, my character would say something, Lollipop Boy, you know? It's like too much. I also think, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, listening to myself, this is the job that got me addicted to candy. And I might need to talk to you, Bree. I might need to talk to you, Bree, because I might need to sue Moo Bear because it's like really crazy.
Or you could sue Candy. You could sue Candy for making you addicted to it.
I'd rather sue a person than a thing. Listen. I am just saying.
I'm going after opioids.
Okay, cool. That's noble.
That is noble. Actually, thank you for doing that. I'm sure a
How
lot
are
of
you
people,
going
that's
after
a huge
opioids?
issue in this country.
Yeah,
In the same way I'm going to go after Candy, Mr. Deacon Brown.
What's
that's
step
professor
one, though?
to you.
Okay, that's professor to you. Okay, but wait, what I want to say is I just pushed her away, and then they got mad at me because they're like, no, they need to talk it out, but it's so tribal. Like, we get so into, if
Yes.
you hire us, you're part of the team. If you ever engaged in us with a flash mob, I remember we did a flash mob for Flash Mob Night at the Minnesota Twins game, and that was so fun
I
because...
hate that they made it a flash bomb night. They just teed it up too big.
Well, what's funny is everyone that was in a flash mob was told that the theme was normal night. But then everybody else that didn't know they were in a flash mob was themed as flash mob night. So there actually ended up being
It was
one
so
person.
cool how they coordinated that.
And so
but
all
tell-
of a sudden,
if you
we
tell-
all got up and started doing it. It turned into a bit of a war because we were all doing these flash mobs and we were seeing flash mobs from all over the world and we were fighting with each other. It became a brawl. I did lose the tooth.
But I also mean, like, if you tell a group of flash mob artists that it's normal night,
Yeah,
they know something's up.
that's
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
That is so
When a
true.
theme is normal, anytime I see theme normal, I'm like, something's
There's
up.
some.
I'm
well,
like, no.
Can we talk about, unfortunately, one of the worst flash mobs we did? It was a disaster when we did Timber,
Yeah.
and we decided
Sure.
to cut those trees down, those big cypresses, and they fell
Right.
on all those
Yeah.
kids.
Well, that's
Right.
when I think it
Yeah.
wasn't about the dance anymore. It was more about the props, and
It was
that's
about
when
the
I think
spectacle. We got too
Exactly.
much into the spectacle.
We didn't
And
know
we
those
should have
saws would
asked
work.
People about the chain. Yeah, we should have asked people about the chainsaws, and
We didn't know they'd work. We
You know,
didn't.
and I'll take responsibility for that. Like, this one is on me. I didn't. I should have asked more people what a chainsaw actually does.
We
didn't
all
know
should have
they'd work.
asked. We all should have looked into what chainsaws do, and we didn't do that.
We just
because
didn't do it.
The Venn diagram of flash mob performers and people who know woodworking are two very disparate circles. They're very far away from each other, and so it's almost like, how do you even know what questions to ask? And that's sort of what we fell into. And luckily, you know, those kids lived, and thank God. But it did
changed
certainly
the
challenge
environment.
morale.
It changed the environment. It was bad.
But it was. I'm sorry, but I will say it did get us on Hoda and Kathy and Hoda.
Yeah,
but
they had
were
us come in
mean
and
to us.
It was
What
they
car?
watched the video and ripped us apart.
It was a hard-hitting morning show interview, which rarely ever happens.
It was crazy.
They really grilled us. They grilled us for 4 or 5 minutes, just nonstop. How
Even
can
the
you live with
producers,
yourself?
the producers weren't ready for it to be so hard hitting. They gave us swag bags at the end. Do you think
Yeah.
anybody who's ever been grilled on 60 Minutes walks away with a swag bag?
No, we weren't expecting it, and we weren't equipped, and we are not media trained enough for that.
No.
And then we made it worse because we tried to do a flash mob at the hospital for the kids to make it up for them, but
And
they were just so
I remember-
traumatized.
Yeah, I think you single-handedly undid all of their IVs with one swoop of your hand, Chandra.
Yeah, because
All
I
their
thought
IVs came out.
it was part of the, it was part of the lead up to the chorus of Club Can't Even Handle Me Right Now. Like, we thought it was going to be immersive, and that would trigger the kids to then get up from their beds. Like, that kind of would be a cue for me as a performer to be like, okay, stand now, move yourself to rise. But they didn't. They didn't take the cue.
I mean, Chandra, you just kept yelling at them, "Get up! Get up!
Yeah.
Get up.
Get up!
Get up.
Yeah.
But in the way a DJ would, like, get up, get on the floor, But they did not take it that way. They did not interpret it that way.
And
that's not
Janina
how it
ran her
played out.
fucking janitor's card into the plasma machine, spraying plasma everywhere. That was so crazy.
Oh, I couldn't get that
That was
plasma
so
out for
crazy.
weeks. Made me grumpy. Made me so grumpy. Ah.
Oh, but favorite flash mob?
Plasma's on my jeans. Plasma's on my capris.
Oh my God, you're so grumpy. You gotta be careful. Favorite flash mob when we did Billionaire in the Pier.
And we had to do the radio edit. So it went, I want to be a billionaire,
Billionaire,
so flippin'
freaking bad.
Flippin' bad. Was it flippin' or freaking? I can't even remember now.
We probably don't remember because the confetti cannons were so loud on that part. On the
it got the sharks
Yeah.
going. It got the elephant seals and the sharks
the
going.
sharks.
Well, and remember
going.
we had to emerge from the pier, from under the pier.
It was terrifying.
was
and
really
I got
scary.
cut up by all those clams.
I got coral all over my capris. Made me grumpy. I had disgusting ocean water on my capris. Made me grumpy.
But at least it washed off the plasma. Those were back to back.
It was back to back. So honestly, the water was like kind of a nice splash in a big reset, if you will, for the vibe. It was like, oh, this also is bad, but like in a different way, in a new way. So that's why it was my favorite.
I think there's like some common misconceptions with flash mobs, and like they think we're like similar to dance troops. We're providing our own costumes. Like those are all our own
lunches.
Second of all, we don't rehearse. We get a video of the choreo, and then we rehearse on our own time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not like it's because we have to be low key about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
but it
and
is a
to be
real
honest,
job. There was a month where we were all salaried, and it immediately didn't work.
Oh my God, it was the best month of my life.
Oh my God.
All of us.
I thought I made it.
Yeah.
Me too.
That was
$8K a month
amazing.
with health insurance.
With health and a gym membership.
That was
Gym
in
membership.
a month they took on 200 employees, $8K a month
We
with
each
health.
got paid leave.
Well, remember, because Moo Bear was like, we're going to go public. And so there were stock options for a second. It was so crazy.
Did you guys buy in? Did you guys get
I bought in fully. I bought in fully.
100%.
Yeah.
I bought in a little bit, and well, we know how that turned out.
Yeah. That's what they don't tell you. If you buy in, they can buy you out. And that's what was kind of hard.
And that's what was hard.
They should get sued for that. That's so fucked up.
Well, guys, this has been so fun.
You don't have to give anywhere to go.
Yeah, I actually do have to. I think I do have to run, unfortunately. Wait, what's that sound I hear? I got a feeling.
Oh, gosh.
Oh my God.
That tonight's gonna be a good night. What?
Jazz,
Tonight's
hands,
gonna
hands,
be
hands,
a
hands,
good
hands,
night.
hands,
That
hands,
tonight's
hands.
gonna be a good night.
What are all these people doing outside on this Zoom?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be for a
Left,
podcast.
Right.
I'm
left,
getting upset.
Right. Pump. Pump. Pump.
I got a
Pump.
feeling.
Spin.
Ooh,
Spin.
I'm running late for work.
Spin.
Oh my God.
Swimming.
gonna be
Swimming.
so
Two,
good.
Swimming. Swimming.
2, 3,
Swimming.
4.
Swimming.
2, 3,
Swimming.
4.
Okay,
Swimming.
that was
Swimming.
awesome.
Swimming. Swimming.
Ah,
Swimming.
I don't want to leave. I miss you
That
guys.
was such a
I
good
wanna
flash
stay.
mob.
I
That
wanna
was so
stay.
perfect.
I want to
It's
stay.
crazy. I want to stay
wanna
here
stay.
forever. I want to
Guys,
stay.
Can we stay here for 5 more minutes?
Can we freeze time and stay here forever? I don't want to go back to my life. I'm so underwater with so many nerds ropes I have to eat today.
I know, and I have nothing to. If my lollipops don't fit in the claw machine, it's almost like I have nothing to fill the claw machine with. I don't know what to fill it with, and I don't know. I think I made a mistake.
No.
I should have never become a deacon.
Whoa.
I'm so in. I should have never gotten in any of this legal stuff. I'm buried in paperwork, and my lawyer has a knife to my head every morning.
Do you guys ever think that life isn't as good as when we were in that flash mob?
It was like a different reality.
Yeah.
I could be just an old-timey professor or a businessman running late. All my problems were just dance.
I could have sold ice cream to strangers in the park. I could have done that in real life. Everyone needs vendors. That's a medieval job. That always could have been. But no.
Should have been a boy when I was an actual boy, but no. I was obsessed with reading books instead. And then I went out as an 18-year-old boy licking a lollipop like I could have done that in public as a kid with a little spinny hat. What was I doing?
I was always so worried about shutting it down before it could get to a second chorus. And now all I want to do is go back and not shut it down.
Wake up in the morning feeling like Pete did.
Bus is going out the door. I'm about to hit this city
Before I leave with my keys and a bottle of Jack.
I'm running late for work. I'm late for work.
Pedicure on our toes.
Toes.
Try it on.
Try it on our clothes. Boys blowing up our phones.
Yeah, I guess it's really hard to flash mob on Zoom, huh?
It's really hard. I wish we could.
Oh my gosh. Guys, let's do this tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Yes.
You know
Let's
what?
do this
Let's
tomorrow.
plan a place and let's do a flash mob to whatever's playing on the speaker. Let's just find a spot and do a flash mob to whatever we hear.
Okay. Where's somewhere people want to see it? Where's somewhere where it would make people happy?
Six Flags?
I'm so down.
Let's all go meet at Six Flags and do a flash mob.
Gonzo! I'm in!
So I'm in. Because what's stopping us? We didn't get paid for these. At some point, we only got paid a month.
I guess the price into Six Flags, but I'll bring some Coke cans. We'll get in for 2 for 1.
I'll bring some box tops for education. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. And if you guys need any lollipops and you want to buy some at a discount, I will give you some at a discount.
And if
You
they try
just have to catch them, of course.
100%. And if they try to shut us down, I'll bring my lawyer. He's a bear.
Don't bring... Okay, this makes a lot of sense.
Right. Bear lawyer.
Yes.
This has been Artist on Artist on Artist on Artist answering the question. Now that's why we call it show business. Good night.
Hey guys, if you like this episode or us, make sure to subscribe to our Patreon, Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists.
It's or us or and us. If you only like this episode but you don't like us, or if you like us but you don't like this episode, either one of those.
Patrick, I think they get it.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. Sorry, we kissed earlier.
It's just been awkward ever since.
We have a Patreon where we go to hang out. We have a lot of fun. We play games. I'm going to post a video where I went specifically to Universal Studios to rid ourselves of the curse of the mummy. It's a long story, but you get it if you go to the Patreon. We're having a lot of fun, and the tiers are very, very cheap.
Patrick, you're embarrassing me.
I wasn't talking about you.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Let's kiss. I mean, watch.
Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists is an improvised Hollywood roundtable podcast created, performed, and produced by Kylie Brakeman, Jeremy Colhane, Angela Giartana, and Patrick McDonald. Music is by Gabriel Ponton. The opinions expressed in this podcast do not reflect the opinions of anyone who works on it, not even the performers, because this is an improvised podcast and we're stupid. Full video versions of AOA are available on YouTube, so please like and subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Good night, Hollywood.